the Biden-Ryan debate where I think Joe Biden had taken his happy pills or something. But President Obama likes to complain. He inherited the worst economy in the history of the world. The man doesn't seem to have very long historical memory. How many of y'all remember 1978, 1979? Double-digit unemployment, 22% interest rates, and gas lines going around the block. And we saw a very different president get elected in 1980, Ronald Reagan. Instead of Obama's high taxes, Reagan cut taxes. Instead of exploding spending and debt, Reagan reduced spending. Instead of out-of-control regulations, Reagan limited regulations. And we saw the most extraordinary economic prosperity the modern times have seen. The fourth year of Reagan's presidency, 1984, which perfectly corresponds to the fourth year of Obama's presidency. You know what GDP growth was in 1984? 7.2%. One set of policies works, one set of policies doesn't. And when the economy is growing, when people are getting jobs, that's how we turn this country around, and that's how the United States remains strong going forward. You know, like each and every one of you, these ideas of freedom, of America, they're not just abstract ideas on a piece of paper. They're very, very real for me and my family and in my personal life. Many of you all know my dad. My father is from Cuba. Born in Cuba, grew up in Cuba. As a kid, he fought the Cuban Revolution. And he was thrown in prison and tortured as a teenager. Today, my father is a pastor north of Dallas. To this day, his front teeth are not his own, because they were kicked out of his mouth in a Cuban jail when he was a teenager. 55 years ago, in 1957, my dad fled Cuba and came to Texas. He was 18 years old, and he couldn't speak a word of English. He had $100 sewn into his underwear. And he got a job washing dishes. He made 50 cents an hour to pay his way through the University of Texas, which, by the way, is going to win today. He and my mother ended up starting a small business, a seismic data processing company in the oil and gas business. And so I grew up in Houston as the son of two small business owners. When I was a kid, my dad used to say to me over and over again, when we face depression in Cuba, I had a place to flee to. If we lose our freedom here, where do we go? There's no question that better explains why I'm running for Senate and why each and every one of you is out here on a Saturday standing up and fighting to take our country. My dad has been my hero my entire life. But you know what I find most incredible about his story? Is how commonplace it is. Every one of us here has a story just like that in our backgrounds. Whether it's us, or our parents, or our great-great-great-great-grandparents. The United States is a nation where our ancestors came from all over the world, fleeing oppression and seeking freedom. And that's what it means to be an American, to value liberty and opportunity above all else. We are a nation of immigrants who together have lived in a land where the American dream is available to anybody, not based on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character. And that's what's being jeopardized right now. When the economy is struggling, when the national debt is growing out of control, we are threatening that American dream. For centuries, every generation of Americans has given the next generation a brighter future, greater opportunity, greater prosperity. We are on the verge of becoming the first generation in the history of our great country to give our kids and grandkids a bleaker future, less opportunity, and less prosperity. And I know for a fact that is utterly unacceptable to every single man and woman here. That's why we're here. Let me give you a word of encouragement. There is a great awakening that is sweeping the state of Texas and that is sweeping the country. People are energized to take our country back. The election is in 24 days. I want to close with giving each of you a challenge. The next 24 days. The election's not 25 days, it's not 26 days, it's 24, and then it's over. The challenge I want to give to each of you is that 24 days from now, on election day, as the sun is setting, that each of us can look in the mirror and say to yourself, self, I did everything I could. I poured my time, my energy, my passion, my resources. I got on the phone and I made phone calls to help elect Mitt Romney, to help a certain U.S. Senate candidate who would certainly appreciate your help.
Ted Cruz!
Cruz!
To help re-elect Connie Scott. To help elect conservatives and Republicans up and down the ballot. To get on the phone or get on an airplane and help elect Republicans in key battleground Senate states so we can retire Harry Reid as majority leader.
Yeah.
The challenge I want to make to you is that 24 days from now you look in the mirror and say, self, I could not have done anything more. Everything I had, I poured into saving this country, because this is not a typical election, and I want to look my kids and grandkids in the eyes and let them know that I was there fighting to make sure their future is even brighter than ours. That's what we're doing. We are like the brave Texians of old, the brave Americans who fought our revolution. We are fighting a revolution right now to preserve our nation, and I am honored and humbled to stand shoulder to shoulder with each of you, fighting to preserve and restore that shining city on a hill that is the United States of America. Thank you.